My name is Tyler Stewart. I've worked for the News and Tribune for 3.5 years, and I am currently the chief photographer. As chief photographer, my main role, I guess, is to coordinate the photo schedule, talk with the heads of the news department and the sports department to kind of get an idea of the week and to coordinate between the other photographer and I how exactly that'll all be done. The main role, I guess, we also serve is coming up with possible ideas for how we can cover something and what will produce the best product visually. So a typical workday for the photo staff, we come in, we check the schedules, go through the emails. We may have an ongoing project we've been, looking forward to working on that day again. But oftentimes we kind of wait and talk with the reporters to see what stories are kind of going on throughout the day. And the editors also factor into what may be most important to be covered that day. We generally start with news in the morning through afternoon. By that point it's usually wrapped up, and then we move into night, which is when sports and high school kind of all starts up. Day to day it's very varying very varying on what we cover. It's anything from general news that were planned out to sports, like I said, at night, but then we also have breaking news that happens during the day that we have to go out and respond to, and that usually rounds out and makes for a pretty full week. The most difficult thing I've had to shoot while working at the newspaper, I would probably have to say, was Bridgepoint apartments when they caught fire. Something like that. There were so many families that were displaced, and coming up onto a scene like that and having to cover that, you can really see their suffering and their pain. To overcome that, it's part of the news. If you can find out why something happened or show the struggle that someone's going through, you never know who's out in the community that can step forward and help and provide something that person or that family needs. I think that's always great to have in the back of the mind, that it might be hard at the time, but if someone else can learn from it and not make the same mistake, or if there's a way that an issue like that can be prevented, I think that's always most important. And then secondly, to get around it, there's oftentimes with these breaking news stories that you really get to see local personnel and emergency responders come into their light and do what they do, and that's something that's always been awesome for me to see, and to be able to show them doing what they are willing to do and the things that they have to do to make sure that people are safe and families are safe. That's always something that I'm very proud to be able to show. What I miss most about being a kid is a lot, but the lack of responsibility that you don't have to worry about too much because it's all typically taken care of for you, and just the freedom that comes with that, and the lack of things weighing down you, no stress. I certainly love what we do here, and I think that I've kept a lot of my kid-like qualities, and I think I've found a way to kind of incorporate that with the news, because it's always something different, and I'm never afraid to ask questions or try to get into places that most of the community can't or won't be allowed into, and really get to show them a new perspective. So I keep a lot of fun in what I do, and I love what I do. My go-to comfort food would be anything potatoes. If I had my preference, with some heavy cream or some cheese. However, I'll take a potato any way you can serve it. Photojournalism today has obviously really changed as much as many of the news world has, but I think one of the main roles with photojournalism across the board, which is still true today, it really allows you to put a face with an issue, and obviously today there's so many things going and happening that aren't always the best. It's easy to overlook those and become used to them, and I think that as a photojournalist, especially in a smaller area with a tight community, it's really important to put a face with that problem and let people relate to that and see how it's much more personal than they may think. So it's not every day that the national news hits home, but when it does, that's our job to go out there and make sure it's felt.